What's going on, everyone? Kale, how you doing this morning?
Well, I'm in a little bit of a NyQuil coma this morning, so I'm moving a little slow. Been a little under the weather this week, but
Man, that
overall
music's
been good.
kicking this morning. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Holy crap.
you're jamming over there.
I'm just happy I
Uh,
remembered how to use everything. It's been like 3 weeks since we've been on. I was on
I
with
know.
Mass a little bit the one night, but other than that, I haven't had to do anything. It's been a whirlwind of a 3 weeks. We had, man, a huge loss in the martial arts community this week. Well, I know we'll talk about that for sure. But how was your last 3 weeks? I know we've both been out of pocket a little bit. Trips and
I know.
funerals and all
Our
kinds of
uh,
crazy stuff going on.
our traveling just seemed to collide perfectly there this month. So,
Yeah.
um, man, been everywhere and been super busy on top of that, and then came back from Korea. I caught some kind of sickness in the airport, and it's been sticking with me all week. So
Too much
just been trying to.
kimchi.
Man, the kimchi in Korea was
Was it good?
fantastic. Not. I can eat kimchi. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite food or
Mm.
whatever. Uh, but I ate it when it was there, and but I gotta tell you, in Korea, it was like night and day difference how good it was.
Really?
I was we had Korean barbecue quite a bit, and I was throwing uh, kimchi on it all. It was just so good, and I don't know if it was just fresher there or
Hmm.
prepared better. Because it's not really. I mean, it's fermented
Yeah.
cabbage, but anyway, it just tasted delicious.
I don't think I've ever had Korean barbecue, to be honest. Maybe I have,
Oh.
but I don't know.
So they have like the coals, like a little grill in front of you with um, I guess some places had like electric grills or whatever,
Is it like
or
regular
gas.
barbecue, like we would get, just a different flavor, or is it a sweeter? What kind of
No, I
concoction?
guess I guess you would say Korean barbecue is more of a style of like eating
Okay.
because the table has a grill in the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
and they just bring out whatever meat you order.
Oh.
So we had pork belly, we had uh, like marinated pork, we had marinated beef, and so whatever you ordered, and you would come out, and then you put it on the grill. So sometimes we would put just a few on there at a time and just kind of eat slowly. Sometimes you just dump it all on there and just cook it all up real fast.
Okay,
Um,
so this is
and
like
so
one of those things where you have to cook your own food.
yeah,
Okay, I hate
yeah. So
those
you,
places. It's like, what's that place? The Melting Pot. We went to the Melting Pot when I was living in Atlanta, and we had a really good time. We were with a good, fun group of people, but I was so irritated that I had to like cook my food, and it was like really expensive too, you know. And then when my brother or my daughter, I think it was for her 18th birthday, that's where she wanted to go, was the Melting Pot here in Charlotte. We went to.
oh, that's too
I
funny.
never liked that place.
I liked it. It was like I don't know. It was like more social, like because
Uh,
you were, you know,
Cooking and
yeah, cooking. I don't know. It was, I will say it was cheap. It was
okay.
not like an expensive meal, so it wasn't like you were paying,
So it's like the
you
poor
know.
boys melting pot or something,
Yeah, yeah,
something like that.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Um, but yeah, so Korea was cool. I felt super fortunate to be able to go. Everyone was safe, no issues.
Oh, good.
We did travel up to Camp Greaves, the U.S. military base on the South Korean side, and got to kind of see the North Korean border there. See the DMZ zone. Kind of, we took a like a tram over it and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So that was quite an experience. Kind of felt had like a definitely had like an eerie feel to it.
Really?
Uh, yeah, it was just an odd but interesting experience. And then
Hmm.
got to see Seoul. Went into Seoul, did the street markets and the street food. That
Oh,
was
cool.
delicious. That was fun. Of course, got to corner my buddy in his fight, and that was an experience on its own. Just,
How was that
I mean, they're trying.
atmosphere?
they actually did a really good job with it, and so but trying to learn the rule set from Korea, like they didn't speak any English. They had an interpreter there,
Mm-hmm.
but still that was difficult to communicate. Turns out we got there the day before the fight. We learned that face stomps and soccer kicks were legal. Um,
Wow,
yeah, so like stuff that's
not
not
legal.
typically legal in fights. And there was a couple fights, one with soccer kick to the face, like while the person's down. You know?
Oh, really? I didn't see. I did catch some of the footage after the fights. I was able to watch a little bit, and it
Hmm.
looked like they kind of stayed like right on track, just boom, 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 boom. The way it appeared on the video, it could have been completely different in person.
No, they were on time. They were well, okay, they were on time with the fight.
Once it started.
The whole once it started, they were on time. They were a nightmare of of organization beforehand. It was the whole day before and the whole day of was honestly a nightmare. But they didn't do a good job there. But that fight atmosphere, we were fighting in the upstairs of a Catholic church.
What?
So they had a cage. They brought in a cage up these stairs, and they had so most of their business is on YouTube. They have like 750,000 followers
Yeah, I seen that.
on YouTube. So they have a big YouTube following, and that's where they make all their money. So they don't really make a lot of money on their live events,
Mm.
like in person. It's all made online. So their production was awesome. They had like 3 or 4 cameras. They were doing interviews. They had different angles, um, and so the production was fantastic. But yeah, they had like 300 people crammed, and they were sitting in the pews
It
of the
looked like it
church.
was
That was the
small. So did they have a church
yeah.
like thing going on at the same time the fights were going on, or were the times different?
Yeah. Yeah, they had mass going on downstairs. I mean, it was Saturday night. Don't they do mass on Saturday nights?
They do here, yeah. I was picturing, in between the fights, maybe they're going up for, little goblets of wine and, communion,
Yeah. Yeah.
going to the
So
confessional
it
for
was
bad sportsmanship stuff in between.
yeah, it
That's
was a really
interesting.
like intimate feel. Like the crowd was right up on the cage, which is not usually typical in the US. And then but man, the crowd was into it, and then having it all on YouTube and stuff was pretty interesting. So
That's cool.
yeah, but anyway, I can go on and on about that. It was a super cool trip, and trying to get over this sickness from the
Ugh.
travels.
Well, I survived
But
any kind of sickness for sure. I was in, I'm trying
you
to
had some training.
think of what, yeah, that was an enlightening experience. We started off. It was like a 3 week stint that, I had a couple things planned, and then I had one thing that was unplanned. But we went for my wife's birthday. We went down to Hilton Head, so that's always a great time. So we had a great time there, and it was relaxing. The weather was pretty decent, and we, not even knowing about it, we had some friends that were actually in Hilton Head too. So we hooked up with them for dinner one night at one place, and the next week I had to go to Dallas. I went to Dallas for a funeral, and the I get to this hotel where we were all staying, one of the Hiltons, and I was sitting at the courtyard when we first got there. It was pretty cold, and they had this big outdoor fire pit and stuff. And we sit down outside, and we were waiting for some of the family to get in, and just kind of connected with the cousins and stuff, and my brothers and sisters. And I'm looking over, they had some kind of like convention going on there. It was a nothing like the convention in Vegas with the all the craziness, but it was a convention of insurance. It was like insurance companies or something.
Yeah,
And I look across the thing, and there was a lady. She kept looking at me, and I was looking at her. She looked really familiar. It was one of our old students' moms was there at the same hotel.
okay,
It was so crazy. I never would have expected, and I'm like, it surely can't be her, all the way in Dallas. And then I looked at the shirt, and it said Gamecocks, the USC Gamecocks, and so it was them. It was pretty interesting. Hadn't seen
nice.
them in a bunch of years, and then got back from that trip. Man, the security was insane in Dallas. It was like an hour 45, 2 hours almost to get through the security line. Knock on wood, with all the
Uh,
TSA stuff, when I flew last week to Florida, my times were nothing. I was through security in Charlotte in 10 minutes two trips in a row actually. Dallas was quick, and so was the one to Florida. And then coming home through Orlando, I thought that was going to be a disaster because there were people like sleeping on the floor everywhere. It was like a obstacle course trying to get to the security line, but we were only in the security line for 35 minutes.
So that was, I had a my wife. We signed up for TSA pre-check last
Mm-hmm.
year. That was a lifesaver on this trip, to be honest. Because when I came in from Korea, I had an hour and a half to get off the plane. We sat on the plane for a while. Then it took forever to get, because you got to get the luggage and then go recheck your luggage in when you come in from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time I had about 40 minutes after just getting my bag and rechecking it, then I had to go through security again. And there was like a 40-minute wait
Oh,
through just the regular, but then I had like a 6-minute wait through TSA pre-check. So I was able to use my TSA
nice,
pre-check and zip through. So that actually came through for the win right there,
nice. Yeah, I
which
don't I
helped
don't have the
with.
pre-check, so we were really fortunate. I was in and out pretty quick, except for the Dallas trip, and then my wife has the TSA pre-check stuff for work, and she loves it. She swears by it. But I need to get that.
Yeah, I wasn't I didn't really care until now. I'm like, okay, that came in pretty clutch right there for me.
We had the trip last weekend. We went down for stick and knife training down in Orlando with our instructor there, and we have one of the guys that is actually one of the artists on one of our comic books is a really really amazing stick fighter. And at the end of the seminar thing, we got to do like live stick fighting. So it's kind of set up where you have all the participants kind of in a circle, and they are the ring basically, and then there's two people in to fight, and that was an enlightening experience. I never took such a stick beating in my life. I've got all the bruises on my arms are gone, the cuts are gone off my hands. My legs, however, the inside of my leg, like right underneath the groin, I've got a black and blue mark that just won't go away. And then I've got another one on the side of my leg, just like below my ass almost. And there's a big bruise there. Man, the right side of my leg, it looks like I got varicose veins. It was so bad. I was like, holy crap. Hopefully that goes away. I don't need varicose veins. Yeah, so that was a stick beating, man. I had bruises all over the place, places I didn't even know I got hit. Then a couple places that I
Jeez.
got hit like the exact same spot like 3 or 4 times. It was painful. And then I did take a shot on my good knee. That was loud. That was the one that actually hurt the least of all of them. It was the crazy thing because you could hear that
Oh,
thing
that's
echo through the training facility we're in. So it was crazy. It was a good experience though. Just those guys are just some unbelievable like stick practitioners and fighters, a whole different level. Because we dabble, we have our things that we are really skilled in with Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, and then, you get into the realm of like sticks and knives, and it's a whole different world. These are people that have, lived in the Philippines, and they use sticks as like a daily thing, and
yeah.
it's really cool. So I am glad I only played by the rules of striking to the limbs, legs, and arms, because there's no equipment. You're just getting hit with wood. So I'm glad I stuck to. Limbs for the rules of engagement. So
So
lots of
there's some
cool.
people, I mean, you can strike to the head
So
in
when
some.
how like in traditional martial arts, you bow to each other, shake hands, and then you do your thing with fighting. With sticks, it's a little bit different. They communicate by like gestures, and there's like a whole like engagement like ritual, of what you do, and you set the rules of engagement like a challenge to your partner, and you tell them bring it, and then they choose, do they want to play by those rules, do they want to counter those rules and play with other rules, so do they want head contact, full body contact, just body, just limbs, death match, whatever it is that they want. And the way I understand it is in the Philippines, that's kind of the way that they enter into the rules of engagement, because there's a lot of different dialects, and words in one dialect can mean something drastically different in another. So it's a clear, like, set rules is the way I understood it. But Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was painful though. Man, I was hurting the next day. The plane
Phew.
trip home was really rough.
It
Yeah,
sounds like it.
yeah. I'm always a little bit more sore after training, so I usually get bumped up to a better seat on the airplane, which we did, and I'm really glad we did. That extra leg room and being close to the front of the plane and having to walk through, it was perfect. But yeah, so
And
well,
you,
it was fun. I look forward to it. Next year. We're supposed to go to Philippines, so I don't know if that might be worse because they do like the fighting where
oh,
they're standing on a bench, like a park bench, and they fight with sticks on the bench. So I've seen pictures of it. I've never seen it in person. So it'll be interesting to see that. I am hoping to be able to make that trip next year if the times and dates all work out for us.
oh, that'd be amazing.
And
You
I
know,
think the
I was,
weather's good about that time of year too, from what I understand. So
my wife is always like, because we go to jiu-jitsu, we pay
mhm.
to go to these jiu-jitsu seminars, and you got travel, and I come home beat up and sore, and she's like, you pay for this, you
Yeah,
pay money to go get beat up, and you come home and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to go back next year. And it's like
yep.
we got to be kind of twisted in the heads to keep going back and back to this stuff.
Yeah, we have those
It
same
just
conversations. Yeah.
it's funny it's just funny to hear you say, "Oh my God, I had to got beat up so bad," and it's like, I can't wait for next year.
My wife is like, you gotta, maybe you're just too old for this now. She keeps telling me, you're too old for this now.
Oh, let's see who's in chat today. Bajo, Jerashad, Yanis 89, Reboot in there. We'll get to chatting all about Upland here in just a minute. Happy Jack, RDP, Swarley. Swarley said he's got one of those barbecue places on the ground floor of their building.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, it is different. I think it's pretty fun. Maui's in the house. Shaq, uh, Antu, Queen 2 in the house. Uh, Human Lemmy is in the house. Cryogenics, good to see you. And then I thought I saw someone else.
I don't think we'll
That's
be
everybody
showing
at the
off
moment.
the thigh today, human. A little bit too close to other stuff. I'm glad it wasn't a little higher.
B Man Fu, good to see you. Hey, you want to get that hashtag up so people can start getting
Oh,
that in?
yeah, good call. I think I know what it is, but let me double check because I was kind of half asleep doing some of this morning.
We have been gone for 3 weeks, so it's been pretty. I'm glad to be back. We're gonna give away 100,000 epics today because we have not given away anything in 3 weeks. So we'll give away a good chunk here, just a little bit. Dun, dun, dun.
Here it comes.
Make sure you just put the hashtag in there one time.
Yes. All right. Hashtag Norris.
Yes, Swirly. We'll give away more than one Upix, though. I saw I gave away one Upix. Swirly gave away one Upix the other night.
Speaking of which, we're going to be giving away 100K Upix at least today.
I think sometimes you tune me out, Essie. I just
Did you just say
I just
that?
went over that. I just
Sorry,
went over that.
It's been so long since I've been like on the system here working stuff, and I was like really focused
You-
on finding what I needed to find.
I,
So,
I just said that.
and
That's
I am
funny.
starting to become forgetful too. So I think my memory is going.
All that getting beat up in the head.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe the blood flow is like stopped. I don't know. All
Well,
right.
before we jump into Upland, I think we should go. We have we lost a just an amazing martial artist and spokesperson for martial arts and a worldwide known figure this week. So yeah, we see it in chat a bunch. R.I.P. Chuck Norris. So we we have to spend a few minutes. I don't know, just paying homage and respect to one of the legends of the game. So, um,
Yeah, man.
what kind of an impact did Chuck Norris have on you?
I mean, a huge impact. Just as a kid. I mean, he's been in martial arts forever. He's been in some of the, most famous most popular movies. Dating back to like Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and that was a iconic, movie with those two in it. And Chuck Norris probably had one of the best reverse side kicks in the game. He was a very accomplished fighter. I think he held the title for like, I want to say it was like 6 years, maybe longer. I can't remember. But he was just a super accomplished fighter, professionally. And I've got one of the guys that I train with out of Norway, Mr. Kenneth out in Norway. He runs a really great academy out there. And we train sticks and knives with him through Amaguru's organization. And he's also involved in karate under Chuck Norris. He was ranked under Chuck as one of his students. And, he's also into jiu-jitsu. So when I look at like Chuck Norris as a whole, he was involved in a lot of martial arts. He even created his own that was now the Chuck Norris system, I believe is what's called now. It had a different name early on. And, he was involved big time with the Machado brothers in jiu-jitsu. So a lot of people didn't realize that he was into jiu-jitsu. And if you look back at some of the old shows that were on TV, like Texas Walker, Texas Ranger, so a lot of those episodes, the Machados were in, several of those episodes, and they all trained together years back. So Chuck Norris is he's an icon in the martial arts industry without a doubt, and has done it all. He's been in movies, so he was a superstar in movies. Way back in like the Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone era, he was probably one of the biggest back then. He was an accomplished fighter, competitively, professionally. He's been a phenomenal instructor and mentor to so many people in martial arts. So he's kind of hit all of the realms. He really has. He's done it all, and there's a lot to be said for that. Because there's some people that they train martial arts and that's all they do. And he really went above and beyond as a pioneer and spread the knowledge of martial arts and all the value that it has, because I think everybody just thinks about the fighting aspect of martial arts, and there's so much more to it, when you get into like the leadership side and everything else, and just the life skills and the character development as a person that you gain. It's just, for me, it was the best thing that ever happened to me was getting in martial arts. It changed my whole life forever, and maybe I wouldn't even have been in martial arts if it wasn't for practitioners like him that were before my age group. So he was 86. So he's got 30 years on me, and was just a pioneer. Him, Bruce Lee, there's so many good ones in the movie industry, and he's one that definitely sticks out, has been doing it. I always wished I could like meet him, and I never have had that opportunity. I've never been in an event that he was at. I always wished I was. I was really fortunate enough to be able to teach alongside of like Bill Superfoot Wallace, and I've met a lot of other great martial artists, but never ever got to meet Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is one I always wanted to meet. The other would have been Bruce Lee, but he was gone very early on in his life, which was really early on in my lifetime. So but Chuck Norris, just a phenomenal martial artist, and nothing to take away from like Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got his place. I know I see that in chat. He was probably one of the prettiest kickers, and he didn't shy down to any fights. I know Michael Jai White, he spoke on Van Damme, and he said he gets in there with real fighters and he does stuff and fights and never shied away. He's got some other things that are maybe things that happened that were lack of integrity in his career. But as far as a martial artist, he actually did fight. He was a fighter. He was a kickboxer. He did, great things for the martial arts industry as a whole too, with all the movies back in the 90s, Kickboxer, Bloodsport. And, but Chuck Norris is the real deal. He really was, in my opinion. So what are your thoughts, Kale, on Chuck Norris? Have you ever got to meet him or had any interactions? I definitely was not lucky enough to.
Same thing. I'd never got to meet him. I met a lot of people in his era, like Bill Superfoot Wallace. Got to trade with him. I actually met um, and have trained with quite a few of the Machado brothers, and
Mm. Oh, that's right.
of course, of course, they're much older and um, more of teaching, uh, more focused on teaching now than training. But I never got to meet Chuck, and I was doing some research on Chuck. And he was a competitor first. He was a middleweight karate champion for
Mm.
6 years straight, 1968 to 1974.
Oh, it was 6 years.
Um,
I couldn't remember if it was 6 or 8. It's a long time back.
yeah, and it was called like Chun Kuk Do was
That
his.
was his system, yeah. And then it changed later, right,
Yeah,
to the Chuck Norris system, I believe.
yeah. Um, Probably a little easier for people to relate to with that name. One of the first Americans to popularize martial arts in mainstream culture. Him, along with Bruce Lee. Um, I I credit them with us having careers right now.
100%.
Because just the eyeballs they brought to. Um, One of his breakout role was in the Way of the Dragon. Um, he had that iconic fight with Bruce Lee in the Coliseum.
Was that Way of the Dragon or
Uh,
Enter the Dragon?
uh, it says here is the Way of the Dragon.
Oh, I thought it was Enter the Dragon. I could be wrong.
I can double check that here in just a second. A couple other movies. I only saw Delta Force, but Good Guys Wear
Mhm.
Black, Missing in Action, Delta
Missing in Action was
Force.
a big one.
Of course, what I grew up on was Walker Texas Ranger, so
Yeah.
that was how I knew Chuck Norris, just with the era that I grew up in. Um, and you know what I always think about with, and they still sell them in the Century magazines. These Chuck
Not the
Norris
jeans.
the stretchy jeans.
Yeah.
They sell, which I think is awesome. They sell so it's just because they made special jeans for him to kick in when he was filming
Yep.
because he was doing crescent kicks, and I remember there was this scene in Texas Walker Texas Ranger, and there was a guy he was fighting this guy at a car, and he had his car door in between him, and he did a reverse side kick through the windshield
Yeah.
and kicked the dude into the car, and as a kid I thought that was awesome, and then I think he did a crescent kick over the car door.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But anyway, he's wearing jeans, and everyone was like, "How do you do that in jeans?" And well, it turns out they made special stretchy jeans, and you can actually still buy those in the catalogs. Every once
So,
in a while, I have somebody buy
yeah.
them. So
You know they do have designer stretch jeans now.
designer stretchy jeans.
I call them designer stretch jeans. I don't, you know me, I don't like to shop. I don't like to go to shopping stores for clothes or anything. And so I ordered a box of clothes. Have you ever done that yet?
A
So
box of clothes.
yeah,
I
so
don't know what you're doing over there at Steam.
I ordered a box of clothes, and you put in like what kind of stuff you like, what colors, and then they send you this box, and you get like weird stuff. But I did get a pair of like green or not green, they were blue stretch jeans, and I got to tell you, they are the most comfortable things, and you can kick in them. You can kick
Oh,
in them.
nice,
I tried them out. You could do spin hook kicks, you can do crescent kicks, you can do anything you want.
nice. You just walk around kicking
Yeah.
in your jeans over there.
Yeah, let me. I don't have my kicking jeans on today, and I am dressed down today. I've got my Sabres jersey and my stretchy other pants. I've got my. Actually,
We oh,
I'm wearing my Lululemons that my daughter got me.
you wear Lululemon this thing?
You know how comfortable these things are? I never would have them
Oh
except
no.
that they were bought for me. And I put these things on and I loved them. So last year when we went down to Orlando, I left my Lulus down there. I got back and realized I was so mad. So my daughter went out and got me another pair, but they're they're comfortable. I got to say they're comfortable.
Oh my gosh, you're wearing like $200 there. Those Lululemons are pricey.
Actually, this jersey I'm wearing, I don't know what it's worth now, but this is a Ryan Miller jersey, who was an amazing goalie for Buffalo. He also played on the U.S. Olympic team. I love this jersey. I'll never get rid of it.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, Lemmy, they do make them for men, and they are comfortable. And I got to tell you, I got a pair of shorts too. Holy crap, are they comfortable?
You are Lululemon. I didn't even know they made them for men, to be honest.
I didn't know
It's
that
just a
neither.
women's
I had no
brand.
idea. Because every time we travel somewhere, when my daughter worked there, we would have to go to the Lululemon in whichever city we were visiting. I've been to so many Lululemons now.
Well, we need to get sponsored by Lululemon.
We
We could be
do.
the first
We
martial
do.
artist
Yeah.
sponsored by Lululemon.
I'm telling you, if you wore a pair of Lululemons, you would be like, wow, this is really feels so good.
Oh man.
They are
All right.
comfortable.
We
Yeah, I've
got
got some
sidetracked from
shirts
Chuck
too.
Norris.
I got a couple really cool Lululemon shirts too. They're so
Oh my
comfortable.
gosh, I see.
One of them, I have bad luck with shirts. In that same box I was talking about, I got this really amazing white shirt. And first day I got it, it got marker on it. It got ruined. I couldn't get the marker off. So I get another one. Me and my wife were at a game night party, and I'm sitting next to her, and I went to reach over the table, and she had a Sharpie marker in her hand, and it hit my shirt. It was like this. I had the worst luck. So it's almost off. I'm still wearing it. I love the shirt. It's the most comfortable shirt. That one is not a Lululemon though. So it's a different brand. But yeah, if you don't have a Lululemon, just get something Lululemon. It just feels so soft on your skin. It's really good.
All right, I see advocating for some Lululemon over there. All right. Um, did you know Chuck Norris taught Elvis Presley?
He taught Priscilla Presley. Not.
It says he taught Elvis Presley.
Maybe he had a little bit. I don't know. I didn't realize that. I know Bill Wallace 100% taught Elvis Presley, and so did Ed Parker, another amazing master I remember training with back in the 80s. I thought Chuck had only trained Priscilla. I could be wrong. He did train Steve McQueen. Bruce Lee did too, as well. I know he was in a movie with them. And then there's some other famous people that Chuck had trained for sure.
And then, of course, he was the spokesperson. I saw him for so many years for Total Gym.
Oh, God, yeah.
Uh,
Was that with Christy
yeah,
Brinkley?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was going to research a little bit more into his charity that he started called Kickstart Kids.
Yes. I did not know about that one until yesterday. I was reading up on it. That's pretty cool. So is that the one that's involved in like middle school kids? Where he was teaching it
I
for
think
middle
so.
schoolers?
That's a program using martial arts to build character in the youth.
Cool.
That's all it says. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
um, his latest, so he was in the Expendables 2, which is a semi-recent movie. Well, I say semi-recent, but a couple of years ago. Let me see. When did Expendables 2 come out?
So,
Oh my
Ann,
gosh. Okay. That was 2012. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Antiqueen. I do not actually have Vans that I wear with my Lululemons, but I do have my Ben Shermans that are amazingly comfortable shoes too.
I can't remember if I saw this movie. He was in a movie called Sidekicks in 1992.
Oh, yeah. You never saw that with the two kids? I think it was a brother and sister, possibly.
That's what I'm trying. I'm looking at the movie here. I don't know if I saw it or not, to be honest. It looks a little familiar, but
C.S. Worley. DC shoes, are those the Ben Shermans? I don't even know. I just know them as Ben Shermans. I know Vans
no,
were
I
really...
had DC shoe. I had Vans and DCs. They're skate shoes.
What are
I used to
DCs?
skateboard.
What does it stand for?
They were just called DC shoes. They were my favorite skate shoes.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know if those are similar to like Ben Sherman's. Ben Sherman's are really cool shoes. I have them in white and black. White ones are a pain in the butt to keep clean.
DC
Constantly.
stands for Drawers Clothing. DROORS
Mm,
Clothing.
okay.
Um, but they were big into the skate world. Probably still are. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried those on. I'll have to try a pair on. Those are not the ones that are like banana peel shoes, are they? I used to call them the banana peel shoes
I don't know
because
what
they
you
were
mean by
like
that one.
so. Like Converse used to have that material. It was like just. It was like tarp material. There wasn't much to it
No, DCs were designed for
for
skating. They had to be a
skating.
little quite a
Okay.
bit thicker. Yeah. Yep. Well, we are 40 minutes in. We got to get some Upland content in here.
Yeah. So we had
I
man, over the 3 week period that was just a blur for me. There was a
yeah,
lot
we
that
missed a
went
lot.
on. I missed totems. I missed everything. Totems, I didn't even have a
So
chance because that was.
I
They should have given us more warning on that. That was
they
like.
should have given us more warning. Sorry, I thought you were going.
No, go ahead.
I started my totems literally about 30 minutes before the deadline for them ended. I was in the Dallas airport and I was waiting to get onto my flight to Korea actually on Tuesday morning. And I got on I just remembered I was like, "Oh crap, totems." And I got on Discord and I said, "How long do I have to start them?" And they're like, "You got like 30 minutes, dude, before the deadline ends." And then I was like, "Well, should I do it or should I not?" Because I was gonna have to keep up with them in Korea, and it was a 13-hour time change. So I was like, "Man, am I gonna be able to do this?" I had a 16-hour flight. I was gonna miss like the first feeding. Anyway, I did start them in the Dallas airport, and then I I only missed 3 feedings in Korea.
Wow.
Um, I was pretty because I couldn't even feed them if I wasn't at the hotel for Wi-Fi. Uh, so somehow I got through the whole trip with only missing 3 feedings. I haven't missed any since I've been back.
That's pretty
Um,
impressive.
but but my thought was, man, I've been going pretty heavy into seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna need this freaking protum or stem here soon to feed
Yep.
these dang seeds, and I don't want to buy it at all. Um, so anyway, I'm doing pretty good with them, all things considering, and
So I
I
saw
should if I
I saw your post, asking about them, but I saw
yeah.
it 50 minutes after you posted it, so I missed the totems by 20 minutes.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, they
yeah,
were
that was
dead before they started.
yeah. The totem travel was the the it was helpful when I got to Korea. The start time because it tells you the time that you fed the totems.
Mm-hmm.
It actually switched to Korean time.
Oh,
And so, and then when I got back into the States, the time switched back to U.S. time, my Eastern Standard Time. So actually that was helpful. I didn't have to do any calculations. I just knew all my totems are on 12-hour increments, so I just had to
that
go with
makes it
that. So that
easier.
was actually yeah. So uh, yeah, and actually it hasn't been that bad. Maybe I'm just conditioned now to the annoyance of feeding totems because I haven't been missing eating feedings here. I've also not been trying to be perfect. I've just
Mm-hmm.
been like, you know what? I wake up, I feed them. I go to bed, I feed them. I'm not trying to be perfect with them. I'm not setting alarms. I just know I think it's 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. I just feed them whenever in the morning, whenever at night, and it's been a lot easier that way. I
Hmm.
think the first couple cycles I was trying to get them like perfect, and then I ended up doing worse that way because I would be like ready to feed him, and then I'd be like, oh, I gotta wait 17 minutes, and then I would get distracted and forget. And
Forget. Yeah.
yeah, so Looks like they go to any bars in South Korea. Yeah, they didn't really have a lot of bars though. They had karaoke.
Oh,
Um,
Koreans are huge for Crown Royal, kimchi, Korean barbecue, and karaoke.
yeah, all the K's. Um, but the first night I was there, we actually found a decent bar. I was so tired. Cheon totems are still alive. Only messed up a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Shaq, that worked out good. Let's see. B-Man Fu, feeding totems. The extra zero keeps popping up in there. Yes. And also, I'm not doing the decimals this time because
Oh
I used
no,
to do
you're just
like
doing whole numbers.
what? Yeah, because it's supposed to be like 18.33
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm supposed to feed them. So like
So you're
every
doing
3 or 4
18 or
feedings, I just
19. You're
I'm
feeding
doing
them more or
18,
less.
feed them less, but
Okay.
then every 3 or 4 or 5 feedings, I just like throw 19 on it. I don't know. I don't know if that matters or not.
Mm.
But we're talking about one protum, so um,
And that would probably be around, I think, March. So probably the second week in March, possibly. And I'm not even positive which area we're going to. I know we are going to go to Laguna for a day or two, and I'm not sure where all of the stuff is. I've actually never been there, so I don't know too much. But I will let you know for sure as it gets closer.
so I am excited about being able to plant seeds in blossom season. We're coming up. What do we got? 8 or 9 days until blossom season starts, or something like that. So,
Are you
um,
screen sharing, KO?
yeah, I was gonna pull up some articles.
Okay. All right. Let me scooch over to there.
If you
Okay.
guys are watching, the hashtag is hashtag Norris. Only put it in one time in the chat. Um, yeah, let's kind of run through. I was able to watch. It was funny. I was watching the Meant to Be show at like 10 a.m. over in Korea. Um, with the time change,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching UAD. I was watching UAD at like noon on the Friday. I was able to pop in here and there. Um,
There we go. We're up. The
all right.
trucks. Did you
I,
get a semi?
I don't have all the articles in order here, but we'll just kind of go through the last few weeks of stuff here. I really wanted to get a semi. I was going to get one. I got a bad spot in line. I was not able to get it.
Yeah, it was
And
like three and a half
there's
hours
actually
out.
there's not bad secondary prices, but I'm just one thing I have learned in my time with Upland is there will be more sales if you are patient.
Yep, just wait.
Um, and just wait. And then also the hype is up right now, so if you just wait a little bit, which we'll get into with like uppies here in just a minute.
It looked like
But
the new semis were a lot bigger than the old ones. They looked pretty big.
I did not, I have not seen that to be honest.
Yeah, I saw a side by
Uh,
side, and the new ones looked a lot bigger as far as like the footprint.
Interesting. Yeah, I really did want one. I was gonna get it, but like I said, didn't get that good spot. The price was interesting. Um, I'm wondering people's feelings on the price because I know a lot of people have spent a lot more on
Oh
these
yeah,
in the past. Uh, One cool thing, the trailers are coming out, and if you owned a truck previously, you're going to get a trailer for free. However, it's not attached to the car. It is a map asset that'll be put at a distribution center. Um, so good for them on giving one of those free to the previous owners. I know it's 4 years late or whatever, 3 years late. That's been that that has been beaten like crazy, that whole conversation. So I don't want to go down that road. But good on them for getting the trailers out.
yeah, and they're going to be
And then
map assets. It looks like so. Yeah,
yes, and so you will. It's going to be interesting how all that shakes out. Like, are we actually going to have to move map assets via cargo vans and semi trucks and trailers. Like, is that actually going to be a thing? And then, um, oops. And a lot of people, I saw some people like, man, people have been asking for this for a long time, and I think that they're gonna wish that they didn't ask for it when we have to actually move map assets from our factories to our showrooms or from showrooms to people's properties
Mm-hmm.
and actually have to schedule out or how the heck is that going to work? So I'm pretty interested to see how that shakes out over the next few months. But
Yeah, Kohler, I thought the same thing too. It was nice that it wasn't bundled with other vehicles where it was like a chance to get it, or I liked that you could just buy the truck. And June says, bigger is better. Man, when he posted that, I was thinking of that song back from like the 80s, 90s. What was that song? Big. I like big trucks and I cannot lie. Remember that song? We can make a song for the Upland trucks.
that's funny. Um,
Is that Sir Mix-a-Lot? That was Sir Mix-a-Lot, wasn't it?
I think so. I think that was it. So yeah, trade routes will transform how commerce moves through Upland, connecting neighborhoods through cargo, infrastructure, and player-driven logistics. Semi-trucks sit at the heart of that system. The players who invest in this vehicle class now will have a head start when the roads open later this year. So they are saying this year they have been on time with their uh, predictions and roadmap as of this year. So I know in the
Mm-hmm.
past they have not always hit their marks, but hats up to Upland this last 9 months or so. They have been hitting their roadmap dates. So hopefully
Yeah.
later this year we'll see these trade routes start to open.
That'd be interesting when they open up, because you've got all the bonds that are being created right now, and when you have those bonds in the different places, like so when we have bonds like from LA to Rome, for instance, how is that going to work? Because like you can't even, there's like not transportation between those types of areas yet. So what is coming
Well,
next? I mean, is it going to be
boats,
ships?
boats,
But the boats don't go
absolutely, it's
that
boats.
far.
They're oh, I mean,
The
I mean
yachts
that's
go a
why you're
little
gonna
bit
need the yeah.
further, but I thought those were only for fishing, or there's got to be like aircraft
Oh, there's
carriers or
there's gonna
ships
be
or
cargo
something.
ships.
Yeah,
There's
cargo ships.
absolutely
That's
gonna be cargo ships. A hundred, 100%. Gonna be cargo ships, and those are gonna come out. Um, uh, Lemmy, yeah, I got you. Antu sent me the property address. Oh, planes. Essie Chion says planes as well.
okay, but there's no planes. There's only like
Yeah,
one
there's
plane, right? Pigeon's got a plane.
no, there's a lot. There's a lot of planes in game.
Oh, is there a bunch more planes? Oh, I guess there are different types. That's right.
Yeah, there's quite a few planes. But yeah, we'll get to the offices in just a minute. But yeah, human, I got you. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't have anything in Trenton big enough to build a office structure, so I was trying to do that the other day. It's like some of the
Yeah,
areas
I
that I've
gotta.
built in, I've had to actually deconstruct.
Let's hit that here. This is a quick one.
Go
Let's hit
ahead.
this article. The service structures this week. We can kind of blow through this one. I so actually the look of this one was cool. The candy shop. I think it's only two. Okay, I'm sorry, three service units.
That's a tattoo shop.
Oh, you are right. Sorry. So two service units for 499. Not that many spark hours though, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
9,000. That's not bad. But I did think that the outside of this one looked pretty cool. They had like the gumball machines, candy. I didn't buy this one yet. I might. I don't know. I do like the look of it, and you could probably change the color. It doesn't have to
That's
be
what I was
pink.
wondering. You can probably change to like the blues or greens and different stuff.
Um, so I saw on either UAD or meant to be, they were saying how like the tattoo shop, which I've been waiting for a tattoo shop, and actually I was putting that in the where you guess the three for the Meant to Be show. I put
Hmm.
tattoo shop like 10 times, but then the last few weeks I missed putting it in there, and so I missed out on winning some Upix. But because I knew tattoo shop was coming, I love tattoos, and they were saying like no tattoo shop looks like this, and around here in Johnson City, every tattoo shop looks exactly like this, to be honest. uh, Little dingy brick and mortar brick
I hate
building, like
tattoos,
literally.
but I might get one of these.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty sweet,
I,
actually.
I would do a
Um,
tattoo in like the metaverse. I would never do a tattoo in like real life.
I want to get the traditional, like Hawaiian tattoo. Like,
Hawaiian tattoo? Like,
it-
is that like with the cheese and ham and
well, like,
pineapple?
well, no, no, like the Japanese and like they do it in Hawaii too, like with the, like they do it like a hammer
A
and a
hammer?
needle. And,
What?
yeah, or even by hand. Like they just boom, they do the tattooing by hand. You ever seen that?
So it's a tattoo of a hammer and a needle? I don't understand. That would look ridiculous.
No, see, they actually do the tattoo design, but they don't have a machine. It's all done by hand.
Whoa, that
Even
sounds like
even as it's like
archaic.
how they used to do. Yeah, it is.
That's
You
like a
can get
hammer
and
and a chisel. That's crazy. That's like what they would carve stone with.
I had a buddy go to Hawaii and get a traditional tattoo, all done by hand. It looks pretty sweet.
That's crazy. I wouldn't do like an electronic tattoo. I wouldn't do like a Cracker Jack box tattoo, let alone like hammer and needle tattoo. That's insane.
Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool
tattoos
to watch
freak
them
me
do
out. I don't know.
it. The large library, I like how this looks. I didn't pick it up though.
The thing is huge. Where have you ever seen a library like that before? Ever? That looks like something, like when I went to Washington, D.C. and did the tour, it looks like one of those buildings. Things as big as the White House.
I will say is, I mean, we have a large library here, to be fair, but not this large. Um, this has like sectors and departments and stuff, so it is pretty large. I'm gonna just leave that one to the construction hub for me.
Yeah.
If I need to build it, I
Well,
will
it's so
construction
big
hub it.
too. I don't know what the specs on it are, but it looks massive. I mean,
Well, we'll take a look at it in just a minute. I have a
we,
few big props in Hyde Park left. We'll see if it fits it here in just a minute.
hmm.
I got the playground up. We can take a look. Um, all right, that one was pretty quick. Let's get to. All right, this is one of the biggest
Have,
announcements, I guess.
have you ever been to a library, KO?
Have you ever been to the library?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Like,
grew
did
up
you
going to
guys
the
have them
library
in
when I was.
school with like the card catalogs and all that stuff? That Dewey Decimal System? Did you have those?
Yeah, yeah, or very early on. Um, and then we had a local library, and then of course I needed the library when I went to school,
We do have a
or to
library up the
college.
street from us here. I've never been to it, but I know there is a library up there. I should walk in it and just see what's in there. If it's the same, or I'm sure everything's like digital now, maybe.
And two, we actually have a pretty big library, and it's actually still really active. There's still a lot of people that go to the library around here. Um, I it's funny, like I don't have an interest to go into the library, but you'd think with like Audible and the internet,
Yeah.
but
I think
anyway.
well, more recently, I've read more books at like Barnes and Nobles than I have at the library. Because I used to do
Yeah.
that when I was building the school here in Charlotte. I would go to Barnes and Nobles, for a coffee in between and read.
Right. I'm moving some Spark around. I'm gonna merge an Uppy today.
Ooh.
We'll do that live here in just a minute. Um, Dev update. Let's see.
Oh, they do 3D printing at the library, Tune? Did not know that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Huh.
Oh, we actually glanced over something on the trucks. Semi trucks will be the primary way players transport goods between neighborhoods and cities, discovering troves along
Mm-hmm.
established trade paths. So the trucks are actually going to be in with discovering troves. That's I just that was kind of like thrown in there, just a little.
I
It's
still
easy to
don't
overlook that.
understand troves 100%. They seem like stowaways, or
You're gonna want troves to keep your uppies happy, basically, or to keep your uppies, you know, in a good mood, performing well.
huh. So that's like, okay. So, huh.
Right? So you're gonna need food. You're gonna need like the coffee might
It
provide
sounds like
a
trafficking 100% to me, but
trafficking. What do you mean?
because you're like transporting people or troves. Troves are people, right?
No.
I don't know. I haven't wrapped my head around this troves thing because I'm thinking it's like stowaways or people that are
So
abducted and sold. And
no, no.
I
What
don't
do you?
know.
What,
I'm not
what?
understanding the whole
All right.
troves thing yet. I guess.
Okay. So like, let's just use fishing. People can go fishing and collect troves. So let's say the trove is a fish, and the fish is food. So you go collect a fish trove, and your uppies are saying, "Hey, we're hungry. We want fish or we want food." You give your uppies fish to keep them full.
Okay, so they're items, not people. Okay, I was
Correct.
thinking. Okay, see, Upland has got to they got to be more specific about this stuff because for a new player coming in, they're thinking, man, this is like a prostitute ring. Is what I was reading.
I don't know where I've been. I think it's been pretty clear that it's going to be like items that your uppies need. I think
Okay,
the articles were pretty.
uh,
That's
I'll
pretty
have
funny. I
to
haven't.
read up on the troves a little more then because I was getting a whole different weird vibe with it. It was a little
That is
bit
a weird vibe.
off-putting.
Yeah. All right. On from uppy prostitutes. Um, let's see.
No, I
Players can
understand.
begin
I
placing.
100% understand uppies, just the troves thing. I don't troves in like it makes sense like 6-7 does to me. That's what it is. It doesn't mean I don't know. I'll have to read up more on it to understand it. Maybe we can get X1 on and
Well,
run us through like
so
a crash course on troves.
so like our coffee shops are going to produce coffee beans and
So
or for
coffee
like
beans are
caffeine.
troves.
Well, I mean, I'm not say I don't know exactly which. Maybe it's called caffeine. Maybe it's called coffee beans. Maybe it's called energy. And your uppies want energy, so you're gonna have to go send to somebody's coffee shop, collect the coffee bean trove, and then go give that to your uppies to give them energy.
Hmm.
Yeah, resource. Okay, someone said it in chat the other day. Troves should just be called resources.
Okay. Okay. Resources make sense.
Yeah, resources is a much better word for it. So you're just gonna want to go collect resources for your uppies.
So they're like
How's
vitamins.
that?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Is that a little better?
Okay. Yeah, I got it now. I think I understand that a little better from what I was originally reading into it.
And so that's why all of our server structures are super important because they're going to produce different troves that our uppies need. And so the more server structures you have, the more troves are going to be created by them. The more people are going to send to your properties to go collect those troves.
Hmm.
That's the whole kind of ecosystem that's being developed right now. At least that's how I've understood it.
Lemmy, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, when I was seeing it, and it was coming across as like weird things. People being transported in trailers, and Maybe a trove falls off the truck, and you're picking up that trove in your travels, and
Let's see. Yeah, they're saying it's the mini game to catch uppies and fulfill their needs. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So a big thing here, office structures. That's been pretty interesting this week. We've been making our connections. You got the large. I did like that there was UPX and USD options. It didn't make sense that the $15 tower had I guess I can see both sides. Had less units than the $10
Mm-hmm.
complex. So I have one tower going. I made a connection in Pratty with Reboot,
Mm-hmm.
and so we got a tower going on in Hyde Park. We got one going on in Pratty
Nice.
in Rome. But there's less office units than there is in the cheaper complex. But
Hmm.
I guess you could be paying for space
But
because the
yeah, because those
complex
are
is
easier to build, right? You can have a smaller property.
yeah. So I guess that's the trade-off. Because there's a lot more office units in the complex, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
think like triple or quadruple the amount. But it takes up such a huge space.
Yeah, so it's like the
And
difference
this
between a
one,
two-story house and a ranch. It's just more spread out, some more property, more money.
yeah, you don't get as many office units though. I think like 24 or 28 or something like that with this tower. Um,
What's the other one? 36?
No, it's like 102 or something, or it's
Oh,
like
damn.
it's a lot. It's a lot more. So if you are buying those, just make sure you're aware. But I did like the options to buy them in UPX as well.
I thought
So
that
that
was
was a
cool
good move.
too. I like the option to be able to buy
More
them
of
in
that
Upix.
Upland. More of that Upland. More, more, more. Those are good options. Good UPX syncs. Um, all right. So basically, these are going to be for our commerce score for our neighborhood. I I know some people were confused by this. I really liked it, to be honest. I feel like it brought more strategy in having to connect with players across the game. I've spoken to a ton of players over the last week trying to get connections, and it's made everybody work together. And I've done some property trading, I've done some property buying to get these up and going. I want to help Hyde Park's commerce score. It's pretty simple. We want equal number of offices in your whoever your connections are with, your bonds. They're calling it bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not exactly player to player, but it works out well if I make a small office unit which is 4 units, and I say, hey, you know, Antu or Human over in Trenton, let's make a bond. It's gonna be beneficial for them to build the same structure with the same number of units. So we each have 4. Um, you don't
Does
want to
it
have.
still work? Does the bond still work if you have two different size structures? So let's say somebody has a tower and somebody has a small office. Does that still work as a bond? They're just not equal.
So I think the bond is there. It's just not as strong
Okay.
as if it were equal. Um, and so a bond is created when 2 players establish reciprocal commercial presence. Well, all right. I guess this is a little confusing because this does say a bond is created when 2 players. I don't think the bond is between 2 players though. I think they're
Is it just between the communities?
because I feel like it's just got to be
And then what happens if, okay, so let's say you were to move your home address.
that f's everything up.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah, that messes everything up. What I'm confused about is that okay, how does it know between which 2 players? are the connections made, right? Like,
Does it even
because
track that? I
there's
don't think it does. There's not a way to track it, is there? Not unless you like
I mean,
physically put something in.
there's no button or anything. Like literally, you both build the same structure, but we have multiple bonds going on in multiple neighborhoods. So how's it going to know exactly who's bonded with who? And
Mm-hmm.
if we have okay, me and Reboot have the larger towers going, but like me and Charles FR have small the small one going. So how does Upland make sure that me and Pratty are bonded properly, and then me and Charles FR are bonded properly?
Mm.
And then, but there's like 20 offices going up in Hyde Park right now. So how do they know that it's me and Charles and
I don't
not
think there's a
you
way
and
to do
Charles?
that, is there?
That's what I'm confused about. Um, so that's where in my head it would just make sense. It would just okay. Does North Grapeland Heights have they have 16 office units and Hyde Park has 16 office units with a prop with you know people from each node building offices in the nodes. How I feel like it's just more of like office unit number. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little confused on that to be honest. But
They haven't,
once
according
that
to
gets
Kohler, they said they haven't specified anything according to the office building type, just the number counts, the number of counts or whatever for the bonds and the commercial points. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how all
yeah.
that works out and how it's all calculated. Does that go in? That, I'm assuming that goes into our neighborhood scores as well.
So actually, it's only neighborhood score SC. It's not. This is not going to affect your personal score at all.
So just neighborhood. Got it.
Yeah, the commerce. So in the census, I'm guessing there'd be a new category called commerce score. And that's what we're building for. Um, Happy Jack says it almost has to just fill in the slots, so to speak. Like it's more about the bonds of a neighborhood. So if neighborhood A had 60 empty slots, 12 small offices could bond with that from neighborhood B. Yeah, that's. I think you summed it up better, Happy Jack, than what I did.
Hmm.
Total office units, not total buildings. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I interested to see how this shakes out. We can actually look at Hyde Park really quick and see. Let's see if you go to World Bonds Network in Uplytics, and if we go to Hyde Park, and I think I'm getting two more bonds set up today. We have 21 connected nodes,
Okay.
227 office units in network. So that
What does
sounds
that
pretty
mean?
good. So like office units. So the small structure has 4 office units.
Oh, got it.
The, right. So we have 227 office units that are
Okay.
planned. So here's okay, this is good. So here's our Pratty connection. We have 22 planned. Me and Reboot each have the one building's total. One building's total. So we have a nice equal match here with Pratty.
Mm-hmm.
We have an uneven match in North Grapeland Heights.
It's because LSAC doesn't know
So
how to communicate.
yeah, we'll blame it on them.
He's
We
probably too
have
busy eating millworms, or his new thing is what is he eating now? Like trouser trouts or river rats. He's eating river rat tacos. Who the hell
what?
eats river rat tacos?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Elslack. He was eating river rat tacos or something.
I don't know what that even is.
I don't even know. We don't. I don't think we have those here in our area.
That's funny. So we have 8 planned outbound. So I think that means that we have 2 buildings going out into NGH, but we have 3 buildings coming inbound. So we need another player to build an NGH. No, that's inbound. So that's
If you
inbound.
press the
Yeah, so we
magnifying
need.
glass, KO, you'll see the details.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, so me and you
Great job, Laban. Man,
are. Thank you, Laban. So SC, you've started. So let me get this correct. You've started one over in NGH.
I did one with Happy.
Okay, so Happy and Charles, because I connected with Charles, we made that deal. So Laban has started one in Hyde Park. So we need another. It's like Trendy, Boydern, all of our uh, people that have their residence set in Hyde Park. We need one person to connect with Laban.
There we
And
go.
then I know actually Swarley also wanted to build one in Hyde Park, so we actually need 2 people.
So we got
Uh,
Trendy and Boy Dern, maybe.
yeah, well, we have 51 people in Hyde Park, so we,
Oh, that's
um,
true. Yeah.
just just make sure you guys reach out to Swarley or Laban and make sure you know who's connected with who. Dang, this is awesome. This is really cool. Let's see where we're. Ooh, so we are way.
Ooh, wow.
We're not very.
Whew. We got
There's only one building. So
Okay. Funky Beats is over there.
Trendy and Funky are mismatched
Oh, okay.
on the
So
number.
Trendy must have a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Funky's got
The small one.
got it.
4, 4. A
Portage,
lot of these are
Rigoletto.
planned out. So we need a 5-mile creek.
Cassick Mar. Who else is over in 5 Mile Creek?
That's Dr. Tid, right?
Oh, is that Tid? Okay.
So we need. I don't even have a property over there. So one person needs to get a small office unit going over in 5 Mile Creek. Spootin. I don't know how to say that. All right, we got to connect with Happy Jack.
Happy Jack. Where was that one? Portage?
No, this.
Oh, Spoitendale. Now Evergreen,
Yeah.
I can actually do that when I have to deconstruct a property though.
Hang on, let me check real quick. I think I might be able to do that one. Also,
Actually, my
I need a
son's
lot
got
more
a property over there too, or my daughter. Someone's got a property.
in Evergreen.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I have a property. I do. I do have one that
Is it
should
big
fit
enough to
the.
build on though?
Oh, wait a second. I put some modulars on it,
Hmm.
and the other 2 have large townhouses. One's got a small townhouse. I wouldn't mind maybe deconstructing that one.
I think both
All
of
right, well,
mine
we can
have
plan that out.
small townhouses, so between the two of us, we can get something deconstructed.
And we got Sunrise. All right, SC, you're in Sunrise.
And
We
then
need
I
an
believe
inbound.
Mesme is going to do that. I believe.
We're connected in Raytown.
Yep. Me and Jerishad got that one set up.
Now we got a big one planned from Playa del Rey. Who's building that one? Mr.
Oh,
Mojave.
Mojave. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Mojave got a new racetrack in Hyde Park approved.
Oh, sweet.
So
Is that
that
completely
is live
approved?
actually. Yeah, it's
Nice.
live.
Maybe we'll erase that today then.
And then we need Avalon Park with
Okay.
Ursia.
Okay, Avalon. Is that in Kansas? Avalon?
Avalon Park. That might be Chicago.
Oh, is it Chicago?
Let me see. Yeah, Chicago.
Do we have? Do we already have downtown LA too?
We are not connected, unless I missed it.
I don't.
We are not connected with downtown LA. We need to connect there.
Okay. Do we
So
not have?
going
We don't
back
have Encino in
to
either.
we gotta get Encino. I was talking to somebody about Encino. Um, so here's what strengthens the commerce score. You need unique mutual bonds. So each unique bond helps the network to be stronger. You need balanced bonds, which is what we just talked about. You want network diversity. So you want to connect with as many different uh, neighborhoods as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Distance.
distance.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot in LA, but we need to get Chicago. We need to get Miami. I got one in Rome. I
Yeah,
don't
we
think we
gotta.
have anything
We'll
with like
hook up with the chocolate node over there in Chicago.
yeah, that'd be a good one. We need to get like international though. We need to get London. We need to get Paris. We need to get some people over there to connect with us. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like forcing us to reach out to players that we maybe normally don't.
Mm-hmm.
So which I think is good.
It's kind of amazing how many different players we do know in different neighborhoods that we didn't realize were in different neighborhoods too.
Mm-hmm. Um, of course, this will be contributing to our residents, attracting residents to our neighborhoods. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Uppies will naturally gravitate towards neighborhoods with higher commerce scores, seeking employment in office structures.
Hmm.
So we're definitely going to want these office structures in your neighborhoods. Trade routes coming up later in 2026. A new way for players to discover troves and move resources, which is a good word there, across the map. We'll be discovering troves by transporting cargo between neighborhoods. Man, I'm really curious to see how that is. It gonna be like moving 6 assets at a time?
Yeah.
People are gonna be people are gonna be upset by that. Uh, I don't know about upset, but it's gonna be a adjustment, that's for sure. Fishing explores Upland's waterways. Trade routes explore its roads. Because I have some cargo vans. I don't have any semi trucks though. This is quite the announcement that popped up. Trailers are a brand new asset class. So it's not your normal asset. It's a whole new asset class. They play a critical role in the trade route system. They do not physically connect.
Mm-hmm.
Distribution centers will serve as commercial hubs. I didn't know if we were gonna have to build distribution centers, or is that just are they calling that our factories that where
Yeah,
everything's
that
already
was the
created?
question I was going to ask before. Is do we have to for all of these different places where we have bonds? Do we have to build, distribution centers?
Let's see if there's any more information here. I read this, but I think I was traveling and let's see. Trailers are okay. A little boring. They could put like Upland logo on it,
Yeah,
like
something,
put some Upland artwork on it.
or
Put some
give you the
uppies.
ability to put your logo on it.
No, that would be cool.
They should have
The
to have
the trucks look,
the trucks look nice. I like them.
yeah, the trucks looked really good. All right, here's the big one.
Yeah, lightning
Sparkless
leg.
store. Lightning, what's up? Sparklet store update, the big controversial topic of the week or 2 weeks, however long this has been out. Uh, I like how they snuck this in at the end of the article here.
Yeah,
Um,
9 minutes later.
all right, okay. Where do we start with this one? How do we unpack this one? I have my uh my thoughts on it, and
I, I thought about it a
I've actually
lot,
put some good. Me too, actually.
and I know before this announcement even came out, we've talked about this in the past offline. I think it's a good move because I think it's going to bring more awareness to the Sparklet token, in my opinion. Um, they you still do have the ability to buy it in Upland, which is great. So for convenience, for anybody that doesn't want to mess around with, the moving from Uniswap or MetaMask, which is a pain in the ass. I know I'm not. I hate doing that stuff. I've got a ton of Sparklet I bought offline and I haven't transferred it over yet because I thought you could transfer it through Uniswap, but you can't. So I got to figure out where I've got to send it to DataMask and then send it over, or however that works. So, or MetaMask, not DataMask. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing as a whole for for just the awareness. People are going to see the token. Maybe it'll bring other players into the game. The other thing is with it being more purchased on the exchanges, maybe that'll open up other exchanges because it's very limited on where we can get it, which makes it hard. I know we had BitBuy early on. BitGet, is it
Big get.
BitBuy or BitGet? Yeah, we had BitGet, but that's no longer around. So hopefully this will bring more awareness to it. I think I like the direction they're going with it for sure. I think it's going to be good as a whole. Um, like I said, I'm not one that likes to transfer stuff around.
So here's my thought. I'll start with there has to be we got to get this on easier exchanges. It's got to be a little easier process to bridge it in. Um, I realized I got lucky. I connected Uniswap to Upland
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and that connection is still there. And I bridged in a lot of Sparklet through Uniswap. If you don't have that connection still there, I don't think you can connect Uniswap to Upland.
You
And
can't.
then later, after I made the bridge in, I was told that Upland isn't really working with directly with Uniswap anymore. So I got lucky. I did some test transactions first just to make sure, and it worked just fine. But not financial advice, and I would advise not to use Uniswap right now. Uh, that's what I was told from Upland. So
Yeah, because it might not
I
be
got
reliable.
I got lucky, but I'm not sure um, if people should be doing that. So um,
Yeah, I need to get the
yeah,
MetaMask set up. I actually have MetaMask. I just have to move stuff from Uniswap, I guess, to MetaMask and then into Upland. Is that how it works?
yeah,
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
agonizing thinking about all that.
It's a, I mean, but honestly though, okay because I know a lot of people have been complaining. I mean, in SC, we know your tech abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and and you can do it. It's copy and paste your address, send it over, do a test transaction first, just to make sure, and then you'll copy and paste. You're already connected to Upland. It's about 3 clicks. Um, but I think if everybody took a second and just stood back and looked at it from a different point of view, an Upland's point of view, first of all, I think they have to be doing this because they need to drive more uh, activity on chain on the
Mm-hmm.
exchanges because I think they're probably feeling pressure from the exchanges. If there's not a lot of activity, they're going to delist the coin. And so we need more activity on the exchanges. I think they're forcing the serious players, and I say serious players because I think that your dabblers are much different. Also, when you look at Upland as a whole, we have a very small amount of players in comparison to other games. So yes, the people that are playing now under are frustrated because we had it easy. We could just get Sparklet at a very fair market value price in game with the click of a button. In when there's 100,000 players, when there's a quarter million players, hopefully one day, they're not going to know the difference. The
Nope.
10,000 players right now will know the difference. So the small amount will know the difference and how good we had it. The other people coming in, and most people don't pay attention, most people don't care, and most people are happy to pay a 35% convenience fee
Yeah.
so that they don't have to mess with that. Um, so a few people upset now for the greater good and the bigger picture, you know, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, I think is a positive move. And I've had to make those decisions in my own business where I piss off a few people in order to make a decision that's going to help the business grow in a better direction.
Yeah.
So having been through that, I think can see, um, uh, I can see why they're doing it. And in order to see Sparklet price go up, I think it's necessary in order for them to keep. Okay, if we don't get more activity on the exchanges and exchanges start delisting the coin, it doesn't matter how much Sparklet we have because we're not going to be able to extract it out of the game
Mm-hmm.
and and get that profit that anyways. So there needs to be more activity. I think that this is a smart way to do it. I think that your dabblers and your hobbyists in the game are going to be just fine buying it in game, no
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Yep.
I think there will be no complaints whatsoever. And then your serious players, so once maybe they've been playing for a year, they're like, man, I think I really want to get into Upland more. They're going to learn how to get a MetaMask, buy it, and bridge in, which it would be way better if it was simpler. Because right
It would
now
be.
in the
Yeah.
US, you got to do Uniswap MetaMask, so that is a pain point. So
Wish we could just buy it
that
on
is a
Coinbase. I mean, that would be easy.
yeah, I imagine it's pretty tough to get onto Coinbase and
Yeah,
expensive.
you're talking about
Um,
expense.
so hopefully one day we'll see. Um, but anyway, that is my probably unpopular opinion, at least according to Upland General and
It's too bad they can't
some
hook up with
other.
like a ATM type company, like because when I was in, I think it was Florida or Dallas, one of the two, I saw the ATM machines at like a lot of the drugstores and different places, and they had where you could buy Bitcoin and other currencies as well. Why not hook up with an ATM company and sell Sparklet?
Yeah, something needs to be done and help out that pain point. Um,
Maybe that could be you know, a Hyde Park Upland venture. We create the ATM machines worldwide, put them everywhere, and sell Sparklet.
yeah, definitely need something to help out.
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's see. We had more uppies come into the game. Okay, here was another. Shoo, there was some tempers
Did you get
this week.
any of the uppies?
All right, I was pretty bummed, but in Korea I had to stay up to like 3 a.m. to buy, and I was I just couldn't stay up. I was exhausted. Um, so I did miss the sale. I really wanted the sale, but I missed them. Did you pick up any?
No, I didn't even. I missed it completely. I didn't even see them go up for sale or be available. And they were. Hold on. There we go. KO, you there? That was weird. Are we still live, guys? Comment if we are live. It said we were off, and now we should be back. Hit up the chat. Okay, I think we are back now. KO, go ahead and log back in. Let me see if I can get a hold of KO. He somehow got knocked out. Oh man, what the heck? All right, let's see if we can get KO back here. Let me switch out of here. Here he is.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, that was weird. Everything just went down. It said the broadcast had frozen, and it asked if I would like to resume, and we are back, it looks like. Let me get
It looks
our
like
regular screen up, though, because we got
Here,
the
I'll-
chat still live, and there you are. Okay. So I guess when it knocked you out, it must have taken down the screen share and all that stuff, too.
there you go. It's back.
Yeah. Guys, do we have a break in the stream on your end, or is it just on our end? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was weird. It just went frozen, and then I could hear you, but I guess you couldn't hear me. I was trying to talk back, but all right, we back. We back. Chat says we're back.
Okay, cool. Hopefully we never left. It was weird because the chat, everything disappeared.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so I was listening to, I think it was the Upland Revival, the Monday night show. And so they kept saying like you first or something. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And it's like, I think this is frost season, right? Isn't that what that means?
It is, and that was
okay.
actually confirmed on the Meant to Be podcast. X1 jumped into chat, and it's not you
Okay.
first, it's you Frost.
Okay, I was wondering because I didn't know what they were talking about with first, and I was on the road. I was traveling, I think, when I was listening to it.
Yeah, so Generation 2, you Frost, they made it very apparent that we were buying Upix and getting uppies with the Upix. So, which is not what was happening. Everybody's buying uppies and getting Upix with it. But the way it's worded in the article is that we are buying Upix and getting uppie packs as a bonus on top of that purchase. Let's see. I think they're really trying to make sure people don't overpay for uppies right now.
Yeah, that's not a bad
there has
thing.
been
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some people paying for these uppies. I have not bought an uppie yet. I mean, look at the price of uppies. The uppie floor before this season, Generation 2 came out was 120,000 upix for a level 1 uppie. The floor right now is 44,000 upix. So it's dropped. It's now a third, right, of what it used to be. And in Blossom season, I'm guessing there's going to be a U Blossom 26 uppies, and the price is going to drop by another half, another third, or 2/3. So I definitely see uppies in the 10 to 20,000 upix range in the next 6 to 9 months. That's not financial advice. That's my thought, and I'm not going to be buying uppies until we get to that point. Unless maybe I'll buy them in the 30 to 40K range, possibly, but I'm not ready for that yet. Now people were upset because now when we merge, it is up in the air. It's up to the uppies gods. It's really up to the supply, the uppie supply, if you get a U origin or not. Even if you combine 2 U origins.
Yeah, it's all 100% random, right? Is the way I understood it.
Yeah, and and that was in the article from the beginning. A lot of people were upset. But if you did read the first articles that came out on the U origin uppies, that was in there. So if you did not merge before this Generation 2, now it is kind of up in the air if you get U origin or not. There was a lot of people upset by that.
Kohler, that's awesome. You see what Kohler posted?
The podcast didn't cut out. Chuck Norris just logged into the Heavenly Network, and even the internet holds its breath when he connects. That is awesome. Well put, Kohler.
That is awesome. I love it.
And I would imagine.
Kohler
so we
is
actually
on his game today, man. That's awesome.
We we do like yard signs for advertisement around town, and about every 3 months we put some out. And we had a Chuck Norris joke on him on one of our advertisement signs, and I believe Chuck Norris would want us to keep his. 'Cause he actually really leaned into the Chuck Norris jokes.
Oh, he did.
Uh, he
100%.
supported those, and so I think he would prefer us to keep the Chuck Norris jokes alive and keep
Keep
them
them
going strong.
alive. Yep.
Um, all right. So, were you upset at all that now, if you merge, you may not get a U Origin Uppy?
I don't really give
Are
a
you
shit.
upset by that? Okay.
These
I
are
don't
like
really either.
Cabbage Patch Kid dolls or Garbage Pail cards. It doesn't matter to me.
I think collectors are like if you wanted to collect the Origin series, um, then I think yeah, people are going to be frustrated with that. But that's why you needed to merge before this Generation 2 came out. It was in that article. I do see a lot of people in general go in there and they just start spamming a bunch of questions. And if they just took 7 or 8 minutes and went and read the article, they could have all the information
Yeah.
themselves. So I just think some lack of reading caused some people some frustration.
Yeah. Just go and vent to a Upland friend. Don't put all that crap in general because it just looks bad for the whole community. And most people don't want to be around the negativity and BS. So keep it out of the general chats and keep it in our own discords or just phone a friend and vent to them.
Kasikmar, is there going to be a Chuck Norris uppy? Oh my gosh, they
That I was
should
thinking about that the other
absolutely.
day. Yeah,
Now
that'd
I
be
would
cool.
go after that thing.
I would
I would
too.
definitely go after Chuck Norris. I have a long way to go, but I would be after that. Let's go take a look at some. Let's see, I had this up.
Yeah, I don't. I like the uppies for like the design of them, like what they are, how they look. Do they look cool? And then I guess also what level they are. The higher the level, the better.
So they did some updating to the Uppypedia site. I can actually see people collecting uppies, um, and I do see this as a good way to get people into the game, using uppies to attract players in, and then so I logged in to Uppypedia. There's a little button up here that says Get Uppics. So people are going to say, "Oh, how do I get Uppics?" Here's my Sparklet. Um, what if I click that? So I can click on My Uppies right here, and it takes me to. See, I have so few uppies. Um, but these are my uppies.
The Joe
And we can.
Rogan uppy.
um, let's see. Let's keep it friendly in chat there,
Yes, I was
everybody.
just going to say the same thing, KO.
um, take your arguments
To the
privately.
Discord chat, private. Thank you.
I'm good to. I'm happy to see everybody. Um, let's see. The second generation artwork I think was better. So you can see there's generation 1, generation 2 here. Let's go look at like some cool ones. Let's look at like level 7s. How do I look by level? Yeah, here we go.
Chuck Lee and Bruce Norris to merch.
All right, so here's your Genesis generation 1 level 8s. Here's a generation 2. This guy's pretty cool. Blitz Medic.
Hmm. Oh, he
It's
does look pretty cool.
unclaimed. Yeah, I just thought the artwork overall was better on the
Yeah.
2s, which kind of made me wanted some generation 2s to be honest. This one's pretty cool. It's generation 1. The altimeter. Cade. Um, this one was cool. Here's a Generation 2 case file Cinder. Here's a Generation 2 Conrad closer. This guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, the colors, they're just more vibrant. They look a lot better.
The ones aren't bad. It's just there's just a
Well, if you look
little.
at the ones, go back up. So you've got Chef Mira, Circuit Ria, and then okay, the one in the middle, Luma's not. The coloring is better, but like the other two look like they came out of a morgue or something. And then the Generation 2 looks just more vibrant.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Cupid's Cutie right here. There's a ton of like the background.
Yeah, there's a
it's not
lot
like-
more flavor to it for sure.
So speaking of, let's see what I get. I'm gonna go to I like Uppepedia. I think it's a good way to get people involved in the future. But we're gonna do a merge. We're gonna do a merge here. Nope. Okay, I did earn. We didn't talk about the construction hub yet. We'll talk about that. So I started to compete in the construction hub thing, and I was actually doing really good. I was in the top 25. I think I was in the top 20.
Oh, nice.
And I thought I was gonna be. I honestly thought I was gonna have more time, like, to do it, but then I ran out of time, and I ended up way out of the top 25. But the only reason I got an uppie because they were giving out 100 random uppies to people that participated in the event. And then last minute, they decided to add an uppie in for those that placed in the top 100. So I did place in the top 100, and I was pretty pumped. I got a level 3.
Oh, nice.
Generation 2, just because I placed in the top 100. So I felt pretty fortunate about getting that. I did not get a one for the random win, but I got one for the top 100. I had like 150 points. Now, merging was cheap this morning, which I was very happy about. So I got 2 level 3s. I'm going to get a level 4 here. I'm going to get rid of Lila Loopstrap.
Okay.
All right, it was 12 Sparklet earlier, but now it's
Ooh,
30.
up to
That's
30.
actually still...
Damn.
It's still really cheap, though. I will take the 30. So I'm going to get a level 4. Let's see what we get. Let's see if it's U Origin, or let's see if it's Generation 2. Let's see. How do I know? How do I know? Let's see. So now I have a level 4 Lilac Lap. I'm not too pumped about this one, to be honest. He's the track team strategist of the uppy teens, always studying the next move with a curious half smile and ready to sprint from chill hangout to after school practice in a heartbeat. So he's a runner. Let's see. Oh, it's okay. I can see at the bottom.
What does it say down there?
You
I
see at
can't
the
read
bottom?
that. Oh, okay,
It
U
says
Origin DD1.
U Origin.
Okay.
So it is a U Origin.
Huh.
Level 4.
Now, do you have another 4? Can you merge that to make a 5 and
No.
then take your 5s and merge them to 6?
No, I have a long way to go for that. That's why I was looking at the price of them. I would need to buy... So I like Captain Cuddlebolt, so I don't want to get rid of Captain. I might keep him for a while. So that means I've only got a 2. That means I need...
So you need a
level
2
ones.
and then another 3. You need a 2 and then 2 3s. Right? Because you need 2 2s to do a 3.
Well, yeah, so I need 2 2s to get a 3. Then I need another 3.
3 to do the 4. Yeah.
So we're talking about spending 600,000-700,000 epics to do that right now, and I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah.
I will wait until I can discover uppies, and I will wait until uppies are in the 10 to 20K range to start doing that. So I will stick with my 5, 4, and my
Two
twos right
twos.
now. Yep. Yeah, I don't want to drop that right now.
So is a 5 the highest you have right now?
5 is the highest I have. Yeah,
I think that's where
that's
I'm
why I was
at
really
too.
wanting that. Like, I wanted that 9-pack because I could have merged a bunch.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
All right. Are we going to do a race today?
Oh, we have a new track. Let me see. Mr. Mojave. Let's see here. We have because we lost a track. I think Shane Bamming got rid of his track.
Yeah, that was the Hyde Park
Um,
Mile, I believe, is no longer there.
yeah, so we still got Trendy's Hyde Park Hammer,
Then we've
and then
got,
we have a new.
hopefully ours will be approved
Uh,
at some point one day.
yeah, so we'll have a third one coming in, but we got the Momochi Mile. I think if I'm saying that right, Momochi, right here. So let's actually, I guess we'll start a race. We'll do a little. All right, we got a square here. Got a square mile. Uh, let's do a kart race on it. Make it
Has Shaq got
interesting.
a track now? I didn't know Shaq had a track.
Yeah, I think she's had one over in Belarus.
What's it called? The Love Track? To match the Love Shack?
I would do carts only.
We can do the
10
number thingy.
epics. Let's do the number thingy.
All right, let me get the dice going here. Yeah, I'm hoping our Copper Cobra gets approved at some point here. It has been a long time, man. I'm looking forward to Blossom season to see if we can get our assets and other things that we've applied for. Yeah, let's get some dice ready here.
I don't have my hopes too far up for that.
What's that?
I'm keeping my hopes quite tame for
Oh, for the
how fast
approvals?
we're
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, we got it.
It's called the Shack Attack. That's actually really cool.
Oh, Shack Attack. Okay, nice. How many dice do we do? 5?
6.
6? It's been so long.
And the track is filling up. We got RDP in there. We got Glizzy World in there.
Oh, Glizzy.
Wolf Warner in the house.
Glizzy, I'm
party
looking forward to
people?
this upcoming season, buddy. I'll actually be able to concentrate and race this
Oh,
season. And we had
racing.
shout out to CP taking another championship, 7 in a row.
Yeah, man, racing was kind of a bummer for me this season. I got too busy.
Yeah, it was the same for me. It was a nightmare.
And then the Thursday night races, I cannot do. If it's on Friday, I can do it, but if it's on the Thursday night,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I tried once and work was just, it is very irresponsible of me to do it on a Thursday night.
All right.
The Friday ones I can make
the
work.
number thingy is 4. 4, 2, 2, 2. Ooh, that's a Yahtzee. 3. Or a full house, not Yahtzee. All right, so we have 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3. So 17. All right, so 17 is the number thingy. And let me see how much Upix we're giving away today for this one. Yeah, Glizzy, I'm looking forward to it. The last season was a nightmare because of the schedules, and I just had a lot of things that came up that I couldn't race. I think one of the races I had to do on mobile too, which was an absolute nightmare. All right. Okay, the prize, let's see. 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 5.
19.
Good math, yes. All right, so the number thingy is 17 and 19K UPIX for the winner.
Nice. Nice. Well, let's test out this track. I'll get it started. I have not raced it yet, so I have not seen what it looks like.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I knew it was coming. Hey, Wolf.
Oh, Shaq said should remove the structure ornaments. Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well here soon. I'm gonna remove all the ornaments.
Is there a quick
right, here
way
we
to
go.
do that?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I need to figure that out because I am not going through and doing all those one by one again. That was awful.
You need to use Swarley's ornament removal and applier tool, which you can get a link to right through Uplytics.
Can you do them by city, or does it remove everything?
Actually, I was going to use it for the first time here this week, so I need to maybe somebody in chat can let us know.
Plugin. That sounds really difficult. Oh man, a plugin.
It's not that bad, SC. It's not that bad. Just gotta download the.
All right, so it's just a plugin thing. So how do we get that from Swirly? Does he just mail it out?
There's a link right in Uplytics. You just gotta click it.
Oh, it's a link. Okay.
Huh. Yeah, or yeah, it's not too bad. I'll walk you through it.
Okay, so Shaq says you can choose too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do my Hyde Park props. Get my residents down before the season, so I don't have to stress about it. Oh, come on! I thought I shouldn't have skidded right there. I know you were trying to block me, Glizzy. I know you thought about it.
Oh, that was.
Oh, you see, I you heard me. Glizzy, you'll pay for that.
Oh, someone's coming up hot and heavy there. Trendy. Oh, Trendy taking first place.
Yep. I've also got a strategy for my resident score this time. Been trying to learn from Umbrella Boy. Umbrella Boy's been getting some data.
I've been holding steady with my scores.
Shoot, I am not. I think I built 7 or 8 or 9, I can't remember exactly, service structures during the season that completed. And I still had to borrow a property to make the completionist badge. I still would have been down. And I have a new strat. There we go, coming back.
Let's see, Glizzy in second, Trendy in third, RDP, Cryogenics, and then Human coming in.
So actually, it looks like we can work on getting more built up around this track.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit built up, but definitely got some areas we could.
Yeah, definitely.
Build up some more.
All right, let me get the scores.
All right.
Let's see. So the number we were looking to hit was 17, and if you hit the number, you get 19K UPIX.
So Glizzy World got 18.
Nice. Move close. Trendy's over.
RDP got 15.
Ooh.
Cryo's
Cryogenics is over.
Humans over.
Yep. Oh, no winners on the number thingy today. That was a nice purse, too, 19K.
Which is easy, Swirlies or Labens? I think you're talking about the ornament remover. I can't answer that. I don't know for a fact. They usually push to use Swirlies. I think Swirlies is a little bit more flexible, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think that's the consensus that I was getting.
SA, we had some sad news.
Uh-oh.
What message did I get?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I think.
We are moving down.
I don't know. How is that possible? 14. I mean, I just don't understand.
14th. Well, so here's why I'm frustrated.
So our numbers
because,
are up, but we're moving down. That's what drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we're actually pretty flat. I mean, we've been at 2,800 residents for like 2 months now. But it's just because of the competition in LA.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm frustrated is I want to build up Hyde Park. These dumb competitions of getting one service structure, and I have I have a decent amount of sparklet. I have 200,000 sparklet that was working full time, and I used a pretty decent strategy of building in some smaller hoods for the whole season, and I completed a number of different service structures, some in Hyde Park, and then actually quite a few in other areas, and I still was down in my service units. That's 200,000 spark, working strategically for 6 weeks, actually longer, 8 weeks, because I even planned to have in the off season, I planned to have some of the structures finish in season. And I still can't just increase my score by 1. And I built so many. So that was, luckily I have good friends in Upland, and I was able to borrow a service structure and get my completionist badge. But, okay, my frustration is half my sparklet, if not more than half my sparklet, was not working in Hyde Park for the majority of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That frustrates me because I'm focused on Hyde Park. That's the neighborhood I want to build up the most. So I would like to devote, 150, 160,000 of my sparklet to Hyde Park and 40 or 50 of it to somewhere else. Whereas this season it was reversed. I only had 50 or 60,000 of my sparklet working Hyde Park and 150 working elsewhere just to increase my score, and I still couldn't do it. And I don't get to build up Hyde Park like I want. So I feel like Hyde Park is suffering because of the gamified tasks, where I had to divide up my sparklet. So I have a new strategy this season, where basically with my friends in Upland, I want to get my score way down, my influence score way down, and then get my basically get my scores back, and then focus 80. I want to focus 75, 80% of my sparklet in Hyde Park the whole time, and then I think that will help to keep the score up. Because if you look at our node,
Yeah, cast
we're down
100%.
We're down a little bit in sparklet. We got 810,000 sparklet, and it was like that the majority of the season because I couldn't keep my 200,000 in there. And if you look at our constructions, we have days in between our builds,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have one, um, even if you go here, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th. I mean, a lot of these places have 3, 4, 5, 6 builds finishing a day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Two. We're having only 2 or 3 a day. Um, Here's a day where no buildings are being on March 30th. We don't have a single construction finishing up on March 30th. Um, so anyway, that's my frustration with the influence score is, golly, I mean, how much do we have to freaking build just to increase our score by 1?
Yeah. Pat Encino's at 29 as far as rank. I thought you meant what city are they in? I believe they're at 29, last I seen.
And now we got to build these office buildings in other neighborhoods. That's going to
Mm-hmm.
take away
It's a lot of spark. It's going to take a long time to
spark, but
build with all the ones that we've got up.
I think they're 2 or 3 weeks apiece.
Yeah. Yeah, with just the ones that I've got up, it's going to take a long time. I'm looking at a year out to get them all built.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
Maybe I gotta get my spark transferred in. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, how are people increasing their scores, with less sparklet? If you've only got 10, 20, 30K sparklet and you're getting one structure, maybe 1 or 2 structures built per season, how on earth are they?
I mean, without sparking up, how can you do it?
And maybe that's how they want it. Maybe that they just
Mm-hmm.
want it super hard to do that. But I do have I do have I guess just to brag a little bit, the completionist times 5. I do have every completionist badge. Um,
Exactly,
so
Shaq.
everyone's need to buy more sparklet or rent more, or I've had to buy service structures on the secondary to add a few points. But yeah, that's true. Chiun should be a wash on the builds that other people are building in your neighborhood. That is
Yeah.
if they spark it up.
Right. Right.
Um, so I might have to give up the completionist badge just to focus on Hyde Park. Um, but I want to see if this strategy works, where I need somebody that's not trying to get the completionist badge to somebody that I trust to link up with me and do some property swaps, I guess. Get my score down, get them back, get my score back up, and then I can just focus on building where I want to build. So
Yep.
I guess to finish up the construction hub, that was kind of like the first week that we didn't have a stream.
I didn't do anything
There's
with
no
the construction
contract
hub
right
at
now.
all.
Man, I love the construction hub. I think it's awesome.
I think it's a good
I
thing. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Because I
It
don't
was
have
super
every
easy.
build. I didn't buy every single build. I got a majority of them, but there's a lot I didn't. So I'll just build those through Construction Hub. It's nice and easy.
It's great, and the construction hub event I thought was really good. And some people started playing. There was a people playing the system, playing the game. You can't fault them for that. There's some parameters um, that Upland can put in next time to prevent some of these things. But that's what people do. They game the system, which is fine. But it is what it is. Uh, but to be able to pay 10, 15, 20,000 UPIX to put up a build that I didn't purchase
Mm-hmm.
is phenomenal. And with the construction hub, I was actually putting up builds that I wanted
Yeah.
up in different neighborhoods and stuff. Um, so I have a crap ton of freaking builds I gotta build. But the way I looked at it, because people were doing the cheapest price,
Mm-hmm.
because there were so many, you wanted your contract to get filled right away. So people were putting up the like lowest price that you could. So the way I looked at it, because I got like 30 bills going, um, is I got them for super cheap uh, because of the contest. So I got like, if I would have waited and just kind of done them sporadically, I probably would have been paying 3 or 4 or 5 times the prices to get them fulfilled
Mm-hmm.
than I would have with the event. So I was paying 2 to 6,000 UPIX per build, um, whereas later I might have been paying like 8 to 15 to 20,000 UPIX per build. So I liked it for getting cheap contracts, and then
Mm-hmm.
I kept all my builds. I got builds in every city that I own just about. So I'm excited to kind of just knock those off like one by one. Um, and then, but yeah. So anyway, I thought the construction hub, the event was okay. There were just some strategies I didn't like that people were doing to win. But congrats to those that won. But
Yeah.
overall, I think the construction hub and just like I said, super simple. It was interesting that you have to travel to fulfill the contract, and that's what made it. I actually like that. I actually like that because man, you had to strategize. I would stay on the West Coast here and try to fill up West Coast contracts, but then there would be like a dry spell, like a couple hours with no West Coast, and they'd all be on the East Coast. So then I would
Mm-hmm.
fly over to the East Coast, and then I would stay over here for a while fulfilling contracts, and then you would see like 5 contracts over in Rome. So I'd be like, okay, gosh, let me go fly over to Rome real quick, see if I can get one.
Yeah.
And
Hey, T.O.
so anyway,
Lewis. Hey, Millen.
I played that game for a while, and I just didn't have the time to keep it up. If it was like a 3 day competition, maybe, but it was like a week long competition, and I couldn't keep it up for the whole week. Geo Millen in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, it is Metaverse Millen.
Yeah, we just got an office built over there too in Granada. All right. Well, I know we've got 100K UPIX to give away here. So,
Oh gosh, it's lunchtime.
yeah, I'm getting texts.
Wondering why my stomach was like growling.
Yeah, same here.
We've been. I guess when you miss 3 weeks, you got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We missed a lot. It was weird not being on stream.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Right.
All
Let me
right, so we got 100K to give away. How do you want to give it away?
50 and 50 today.
50 and 50.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like it. We'll just do 2 winners today.
We got it. All right. All right. Let me go ahead and kick this off. All right, here we go. And the first winner is Maui.
Maui. Congratulations, Maui. Yeah, we're back to you. Yeah, we posted it in our Discord, and I posted it in Upland General too.
Yeah, it was posted in UCN too. Yeah, if you're not in the Discord, make sure to get in the Discord so you're not missing any of that stuff. We have a cool interview coming up. We have someone coming on from Fanatics. If you guys are familiar with that company and organization, if I'm not sure if anybody's seen some of the flag football stuff going on with Logan Paul, Tom Brady, Gronkowski battling it out on line.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Right now, we're shooting for April the 12th. I think is the date we're shooting for. So that'd be a fun conversation around collectibles and all kinds of really cool stuff that's brand new. All right, the second winner is Jimmy Jester.
Nice.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be back. We are pretty much, I mean, we're usually here every week. We just had 3 weeks of just mass chaos with travel, and yeah, it was just really, really tough to get on. I did get a new laptop this past week too, so I will be able to take the show on the road if I need to in the future now.
All right, so I'll get Maui if you get Jimmy Jester.
We can do that. What is Jimmy's
We'll get that.
in-game name? Is it the same?
I'm pretty sure it's just Jimmy Jester.
I'm sure I have it somewhere. So cool. Well, congrats to all the winners. It was good to be back. Definitely felt like a vacation away. It was crazy. It wasn't really a vacation though, because we were slam busy with travel and getting beat with sticks and all the fun stuff that we got to endure. So anyways, I don't think we have anything else. We'll see what this week brings for Upland. So everybody keep building and keep it positive in the community. Keep things pushing along and get out there and buy lots of Sparklet on the exchange.
Let's do this on the stream. Put your favorite Chuck Norris joke in the chat after we end the stream, and as a comment, and then I'll give away 10K Upix next week for everyone that. I'll give away 10K Upix for
I'll
my
do the
favorite
same.
joke. Okay, so you got to pick your favorite joke. I'll pick my favorite joke, and then we'll spin the wheel one more time for everybody, so everybody will have a chance to win 10K Upix. And you can win twice. So if you have the best joke and you get hit on the wheel, you can win twice. So please, yeah, leave us a comment of your
40K Upix, 10, 10, 10,
Yeah,
10.
it'll be. Well, we can do it that way. You can do 2 winners, or you can just do 1 winner of the wheel.
Okay, let's do 10K each for our favorite.
Okay.
Could do 10K for the spin wheel, and then 10K for the worst.
10K for the worst. Okay, I like that.
We'll call it the Ninja Bowl, Toilet Bowl, or whatever. The Plunger Award.
All right, we'll.
All right, so yeah, as soon as we jump off live here, go ahead and put in the chat your favorite Chuck Norris joke. And yeah, it was definitely a legend in the martial arts community that was lost this week, and sad to see. He was 86. He lived a long life, and it looked like, according to what I had seen, he was still having fun and doing a little bit of training up until 2 days before passing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, truly a legend.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we'll put those chats in as soon as we log off, or else they will not populate. So if you've already put them in, copy and paste, put them back. All right, guys. Well, everybody have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you guys next week, same time, same place.
Later, everybody.